most challenging part was realising what I was feeling and realising the people that made me feel the way I was feeling and having to speak to them about it, because I didn't want to release the song when I knew it was about them and not let them know. Hi KLAT, I'm Josh Hicks and this is my Get to Know Me with KLAT. So Honest came at a time when I was struggling to balance my personal life and my business life, and I was feeling really torn with people's opinions on what I should be doing with my life, and it got to a point where I didn't even know what I wanted, so I decided to put it in a song. So at the time I had a wonderful manager who I worked with for nearly 3 years, and her son was Shatterjack, and he really helped me and made me feel very comfortable to talk about my feelings and beginning with writing, and from there we both expanded and got to work with each other and got to know what each other liked, and that's how it started. I'm a massive fan of pop, soul, R&B, jazz, all of that type of music, and I've always just wanted to get in the studio and write stuff like that, so that's how it came about. Good question. It can vary what inspires my lyrics. Like for Honest, for instance, that came from such a personal place in my own head that I didn't even realise what I wrote about until I sat down and I literally went through it all, and at that point I realised I had to really stop and slow down, put on the brakes with everything and rediscover myself. Simply just because of what I used to love as a kid, I'd probably say Scooby-Doo. The most challenging part was realising what I was feeling and realising the people that made me feel the way I was feeling and having to speak to them about it, because I didn't want to release the song when I knew it was about them and not let them know. So I did the big thing, I think. It's definitely made me feel more confident in my ability as a songwriter. I feel like I started quite late. I was 19 when I started writing, and I got all the bad ones out of the way, and around about 20, 21 I started to feel more confident. And yeah, that's it really. Most memorable one is I got to open up for Natalie Imbruglia in It Together Festival last year, so that was a lot of fun, and I had a band with me, I had a saxophonist, and it was great, I've got to be honest, it was so much fun. I was having a similar conversation with someone the other day, and one of my all-time favourite albums is by Ms. Lauryn Hill, and I think I'd have to go with Doo Wop. That's my favourite. That gave me a lot of confidence because I studied music at GCSE and A-level, and I didn't come out with the best grades, and I didn't think I was going to be able to go to uni, but thankfully they took me on, and I went to go to uni, and it put me in a space where I had to sing in front of like-minded people, and it made me break down the barriers I had in my own head, and it made it a lot easier for me to perform live. So I think if it wasn't for my uni, I would probably not be performing live as much as I am now. Again, it just helped with my confidence really. I applied simply because I was quite new to songwriting, and I heard there would be a lot of A&R people judging and all of this, and I just wanted to get their experience and opinions on my songs that I had been writing. And to go on to win it wasn't something that I had anticipated, but obviously I took it on board because I was really excited at the time. But yeah. I would probably use the raw heart emoji, because I love that one a lot. The little twinkly star and maybe a laughing face, just to throw that one in there. Oh, that was just so surreal. That was during COVID, so it was all on Zoom, but it was still very surreal. I was sat in my little music room I had at the time. I still have it actually. My parents, I have a window in my room, and my parents' face was just pressed against the window the whole time as we were writing this song. And I haven't released it yet, but I would really love to. But for the time being, I'm just performing it live. And it's really nice to hear people's thoughts on the song and how like that, oh, I really connected to it, and I'm glad because that one is so personal about my great nan who passed away, but it relates to my other grandparents as well, so I like it a lot. That is a tricky one. It definitely is a balance, that's for sure. It's important to me not to sacrifice my artistic integrity. I also like to try and make sure that I'm keeping up to date with new sounds and stuff that come in, but I also like to reach into the old nostalgic sort of sounds and try and use them, which I'm hoping we'll hear more of now in the future with with new releases. So Adele is probably I would say more an easier one to incorporate into my sound. But Billie Holiday, I just idolise her raw emotion in her voice. And I think with her, it's more of the jazzier songs. I hope that people might hear the influences in that. Like infinite knowledge, I guess. I think that would be really cool. I just know everything and just have to I think that would be great. Ooh, okay, dead or alive? I would probably say Michael Jackson, because I think he was like one of the biggest inspirations for me growing up. And maybe Amy Winehouse, to be honest. I really love her stuff. That's going to be a weird mix, but I think that might be quite cool. I would say what I would serve: sweet chili chicken wrap. They're my favourites. I hope that they can learn from what I learned from and be true and honest to themselves. And I really hope that it comes across in the song and they don't conform to other people's ideas of what they want them to be, and they can voice that. I'll try and choose someone living. I think I would go with, you know what, I'll mix it up and say Little Sims. I think that would be really cool because she could bring a lot of rap to the song. And what song would I sing? I think, go back to Lauryn Hill, I think it would have to be one of hers. Maybe like X Factor or something like that.